How's Bruce Bredettes? Thought I'd do a quick lekker outside. Weather's lekker. Seems the winter is finally over, hopefully. So I don't mind the audible noises, papegaai daar in die agtergrond or whatever. Today we're going to have a look at the new Twisp CLIQ. And we're going to just compare it quickly to the Twisp Q. So these two bad boys, we're gonna have a look at these two. Right off the bat, the CLIQ to me, if you want to quit smoking, this is the new device to get. I think it's brilliant. For me, not so much, because I mean I haven't smoked in years, like probably, what's it now, 3 years. I might have had a cigarette here and there when we had a toot. Hey, cheers everyone, cheers. Welcome to my long awaited review, or starting again. Hopefully, we'll see. And mind the background noise. So yeah, we looking at the Twisp CLIQ. I don't know if you can. Yeah, there we go. The Twisp CLIQ. Yeah, it's turned around. I don't know how this camera works. So yeah, basically, what do you get in the packaging? You've got a very nice little, very simple box with some advertisement, just some marketing stuff. You've got your ingredients, not ingredients. Sorry, I'm rusted. Whatever you get in the package, you got one CLIQ 350 milliamp battery. I'm just gonna hold it there so you can read it. 2 CLIQ flavor pods. This is the regular flavor, and I'll get into the actual pod. One USB charging cable, one user manual. And obviously you slide it open, there your little CLIQ device sits in there. And then when you take out, you've got a little thingy spacer there. You've got your charging cable. It's quite a nice charging cable. I must say, Twisp don't skimp on their charging cables. And then you get two pod devices. You get the leaf regular, which is like a tobacco pod. I suggest if you're a smoker trying to quit, start with the tobacco one, and then you can always move to the other flavors. Like this is the arcade. It's like a fruity vape. Obviously you got your little user manual. I'm not going to go through all of it. It's very basic, same as the Q. You've got your different things there, your cleaning, warranty, and all those things, use and storage. Okay, so you basically get all of that information. It's going to be a really quick video, guys. Just a quick comparison. Now, the pods themselves, you get them in regular and smooth. Now, regular. Okay, let's first talk about nic salts. Okay, so nic salts is a little different from normal, what we call normal juice or free base juice, wherein nic salts is just a different derivative of nicotine extraction, or the way that it gets absorbed in the body. Absorbed. So you basically, with nicotine salts, it gets absorbed much easier into the body. It's also very much smoother on the throat. It doesn't give you that bigger throat hit where you start coughing, which I think is probably one of the major cons for most of these free base, like the Q, and that is because you can't go too high. It's because okay, so the Q is 18 milligrams, that's per particle. That's also, I think, a 1.5 ml pod. The CLIQ pod is also a 1.5 ml. There you can see the contacts, and I'll go through the details on it. So the nic salts is a bit higher nicotine, quite a lot higher, but you must remember it gets absorbed in the bloodstream much easier, and you get a better nic hit, not nic hit, that's probably the wrong classification, nic satisfaction from the CLIQ than you would get from the Q. I would say if you're a heavy smoker, start with the smooth, which is, and I know it's going to sound crazy, it's 3.3% nicotine per pod. So you get, if you work it out, there's like a recipe thing where you work it out what the percentage is of the 1.5 mil in the pod is nicotine. So it's basically 35 milligrams. Now I know that sounds, yes, that's a lot. The reason for that being, and that's what I found with this pod, and now look, I'm not a big Nic Salts fan, I must be honest, but I'm pleasantly surprised with this. Let's quickly take, okay, this is the regular one, so hopefully I'm not gonna, it's not gonna hit me between the eyes until the blood becomes. And the big thing about this is don't inhale like you would with a cigarette. It's more of a, you know, you just puff out a bit and then you inhale the rest. And you won't get that big hit. If you want a big hit, you can go it straight in the lung, but trust me, the first few pulls, it's going to surprise you. So yes, Nic Salts is a lot better absorbed in the body. I'm not going to go into all the details in that. You guys can read up on it. It is safe. Just be cautious that in the beginning, when you do vape on the CLIQ, because it is quite a high nicotine device, that you don't like sit like you would normally do with a cigarette and just puff away, because you will start feeling a bit lightheaded. But you will see. You will. I'm not trying to discourage everyone. If you want to quit smoking, this is definitely the new one to get. It's not out yet. I think it's coming out beginning of September. I know they're launching at VapeCon. I mean, you can see the size difference. There's not a huge size difference. The CLIQ is pretty much exactly the same height, and I'd say it's a little bit thicker by looks of the QI, but QI. I mean, if you actually put them together, no, they're pretty much exactly the same. I quite like the design of the Q. It's got a nice rubbery texture to it. I don't know if you can see it, probably not, but like a rubbery texture on the outside, and the lines are quite nice. So it's a nice, it's a nice setup. Now, the difference between the CLIQ and the Q draw-wise, I pretty much find they exactly the same almost. So if you've been using the Q and you need a bit more of a Nic fix, or you're not getting quite the Nic satisfaction, this is the one to get then. So yeah, I don't know if I can quickly, I don't know if you're gonna hear that. It's pretty much exactly the same draw. So it's basically the Q, but with I think it's the same battery as well. But the biggest pro to me. Okay, let's quickly go through the pros and the cons. There's not many cons, so let's start with that. I'd say the only con to me, again, would probably be the price of the pods. It's 49 Rand 95 per pod, but in relation with the Q, a pod should last you a lot longer on the Nic Salts than on the Q, because remember, as I said, you basically get better Nic satisfaction out of Nic Salts, so it gets absorbed better into the bloodstream than with normal juice that's in the Q. So the nice design, and I don't know if I can show you, you'll see that, I won't be able to zoom in, but you'll see there's like a little, you see in the middle there, there's like a little, it's almost like an indent, which is where your airflow comes in, and then in your, you won't be able to see it, but so basically, also remember, when you get the pods, I'm just going to let's open a smooth one. This is soda. I think it's like a grape type flavor. I'm just going to let it sit while I talk. So basically, when you get the pod the first time and you open it up, but it's an icy apple and grape. Quite nice. I've been quite liking the grape. So this is the smooth one. So this is the 35 milligram. I'd say start with that, just so that you can get a feel of it. You can get a feel of the throat heat, and all that. It's very smooth. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan of nic salts, so they've definitely upgraded the pod. So you'll see there's this little protruding silicone tab, pull tab. So basically what you do is you take this tab, you take this and you pull gently on it. Don't yank it. You'll feel it start popping, and then you pull, and I'll check now. I'm gonna break it. Boom. You see, there it's popped out. You know, if you see that little raised part, then you know, okay. So basically what that does is that seals the liquid to not come out the airflow hole. Okay, so now it's basically saturating the wick. Oh, the other difference between the, sorry, I'm jumping around. This is my first video again in a long time. The other difference between this and the Q is flavor. Flavor, even nic salts, like I said again, I'm not a big fan, but the flavor on this is much better. You get a much better flavor out of this pot. Okay, so now you've pulled the tab out. Okay, now you let it sit for at least 10 minutes to saturate the little wick inside. So yeah, then you basically click it in. You'll see it'll make like a click sound, hence the click. You'll see at there on the sides there's like these little tabs, and you'll see there's little indents there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you'll probably see the bottom one. There's like a little indent there, so it literally, hence the name, the click. So it bloop, clicks in and you're good to go. So let it sit for at least about, they say about 3 minutes, and I see now this pod is quite loose, where the other pod, see, it's a bit loose, but it's snug in here. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. They say let it sit for at least 3 minutes, so I'm going to talk CLIQ for 3 minutes. I really like it. It's a great little device if you want to quit smoking. You can always go to bigger devices. I mean, I've got this Moose tank here. It's called the Blotto. Review will probably come out soon on it. But yeah, I think it's a really good device. So let's quickly go through the pros and the cons. Like I said, there isn't many cons. Like I said, the first con to me is the price of the pods, and it seems like now the one con that I found now is I see the pod doesn't sit, this one specifically doesn't sit 100% snug. So there's a bit of wiggle room, but it won't affect your vaping experience. What other cons are there? Maybe the battery life on it is not, it's not huge. It's 350 milliamp. I have tested it for a while now, probably about 4 to 5 days. I don't use it exclusively. I'd say if you use it exclusively, you should get through a day of using it. But the charging is easy enough. You can charge it with your cell phone charger or whatever. So its battery life might be not, it's not the greatest. Other cons, obviously nic salts might not necessarily be for everyone. I think it's a great alternative for those heavy smokers. I'd say if you smoke at least, I'd say 20 a day, this is the one to get. If you're an occasional smoker, you know, like you'll smoke when you go out, or you'll have a dop or something. Hey, cheers, let's have a cheers. You have a dop or something and you're craving a cigarette, rather use this. Initial, like I said, initial hit, draw on it might, you know, the actual nic salts might, whoa, hey, this is quite strong. But for you heavy smokers, you will like the heat on this thing. Gives you that same tingly feeling in the throat that you get from smoking. I think it should be fine enough now. You see now this, this is the 3% nic one. This is more my style. Anyway, so let's get to the prosies. A big pro to me is flavor on this thing. Flavor is excellent on this. Obviously, it being nic salts, the way it absorbs the nicotine, because at the end of the day, it's that those cravings for the nicotine that you're looking for. So You still get your nicotine satisfaction out of this, but without all the extra other cuck that's in a cigarette. I'll try and link a video to Uncle Kazor, Louis. He did a video on all the ingredients, all the cuck that's in a cigarette. It will blow your mind away. Yeah, I mean, nail polish. I mean, what? Anyway, so your nicotine satisfaction on this is great. I think this is probably the device to get. Now, price point, it's $3.99 for the kit, as you saw, with the 2 pods and the charger and the actual device. So it doesn't come with the extra pod, so it comes like that, and then you've got your 2 pods that you can start with. Like I said, I'd recommend starting with the tobacco one because you get more of a tobacco taste out of it. I haven't tasted it myself, but I heard from other people that it's quite a nice tobacco flavor. Other pro note, it's going to help you quit smoking. Just another, and it's more of a subjective con, or just more of a warning. Don't puff, puff, puff. You know, I know a lot of people, especially if you're sitting in front of a PC or in front of the TV or whatever, with a cigarette, you tend to puff, 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 puff the whole time. This thing, if you're going to puff, puff, puff it the whole time, you're going to get a nice nick high from it. But you'll see quickly, you'll figure it out very quickly when you're feeling, whoa, okay, hang on. But yeah, this is a great device. Like I said, you can hold it like a cigarette or like a cigar. It's nice and smooth. The flavor is excellent. The flavor, I'd say, is much better than on the Q. Remember, this is cotton. So there's cotton in here, where this is a ceramic base or ceramic wick, and this is a cotton wick. The wick is the thing that absorbs the liquid, basically. So yeah, that's my CLIQ overview on the CLIQ, my quick overview on the Twisp CLIQ. And to me, is it a Q killer? Depends on your use. If you weren't a heavy smoker and you already have the Q, stick with the Q. If you wanting to quit smoking and you've tried the Q and it didn't work for you, or you didn't get the nic satisfaction that you wanted, get the CLIQ. Trust me, I promise you, you will get your nic satisfaction out of this without the coughing. Remember, when you draw it, oh, here's another trick. When you draw it, don't draw it like a cigarette. Don't it in like that, because you're gonna cough, and you will cough the first few weeks. At least the first 2 weeks, you will cough. Not as much as you would vaping something huge like this thing, because this is like a direct lung. Yeah, big clouds, whatever. That's the other pro. This is quite a nice stealth device. So when you're out and about and you don't want to blow moose or clouds or whatever for your non-quitting smoking vapors, you guys that have been vaping for a while and you need something to give you a quick nic fix, this is the one to get. Price wise, you're looking, like I said, you're looking at $3.99 for the kit with the 2 pods. Pods are $49.95. They've got about, how many flavors do they have? I'll quickly show. They've got 4 flavors currently. So there's your flavors. You can pause it there and have a look. Yeah, there's the actual price, $3.99. I'll link my code down below for 25% off on your purchase of the CLIQ. So please use the code. You'll get 25% off. And I'll check you guys on the flip side. Vaping brew. Up.